What's up, guys? Welcome back. I hope everybody is doing well today. Who do I see in the chat? Let's see. Hold on. Let me go back. I will scroll in just a moment. Sexy red bra time. Good eye. Who have we got here tonight? Tell me who's here. Grammy Rita, Jonathan Hart, Vicky Pathless Mayer, Jay from Michigan, Courtney, Melanie Copeland, RLS 0523. Uh, let's see, a new name. MB, we've missed you too. We're sending good. Oh, a mouse over here. I don't need to. Um, we're sending good thoughts to you, MB. Thank you for being here. Mike is here as well. Beverly Bradford is here. Uh, why is this? I have baby ears. They don't really fit properly. I'm scrolling and scrolling. If I've missed, Erica Thorpe is here. Streamlabs is here. T-Rex is here. Um, I'm almost at the bottom. That's what she said. Denali, Mike is here. If I missed you, please say it again. Say hello again, and I will say hi. I hope everybody's had a great day. We had a delicious pizza for dinner tonight. Donna has a great place for pizza. So that's what we got. And I went to my first ever Aldi. Is it Aldi or Aldi? KCC. My son JJ and sister Sin are on the road to Texas. Sin, is that for Cindy? Hi, JJ and Sin. Um, Aldi. Aldi's. Aldi. I'm seeing Aldi. Pizza's all good. It's so cheap. I was literally concerned, like, why is everything so cheap here? Is it edible? Is it like, you know? And everyone seems cool with that. Oh, good, Jonathan. I'll be on my best-ish behavior. I don't know if I can agree to that. Yeah, I literally bought goat cheese that was like $1.50. I was stopped in my tracks in the cheese department. Just like, oh, the things I would make if I had access to a store like this. Lasagna. Oh my God. Yeah, so many things. It was amazing. Yeah, we have white label products in our stores too, but they're like part of the regular grocery store. The grocery store is going to carry name brand stuff. We also have a white label or like off brand part of me that is called No Name Brand. I don't know if you have that here, but it's owned by President's Choice and they have like No Name Brand. It's its own brand, but it's No Name Brand is the name of the brand. Anyways, we're gonna watch another TPO tonight. I don't know what we have in store, so we're just gonna find out together. But of course, it's a TPO, so that could contain distressing or disturbing topics. If you're not willing to be distressed or disturbed, this may not be the place for you. Sorry, Sin and JJ. I'm just kidding. Well, I actually don't know. I'm giving that caveat because I actually don't know. So, I also have, still have a milkshake from Steak and Shake. You see that? Steak and Shake. So, I'm eating that or drinking it. It's pretty good. Just literally my entire hour at the gym right there.
Okay, can't tell us who they are. Yeah. And let's hold off a moment. Okay, so that. just got here in the courtroom, Ms. Term? It's, I don't, not in the courtroom, but in Zoom.
No, just walked in.
Ms. Term, oh, in the back, Ms. Turnbow. I've dismissed your matter because you weren't here, and that was Ms. Hockham was present, so you need to start over. So if you'd like to refile, stop at the civil counter, but we started at 9 and I'm halfway through this calendar of the folks who didn't appear. So if you want to start over, stop at the front counter and refile your petition, but we had to dismiss it. Okay.
I apologize.
It's all right. Okay. So who's Motorola Moto? Who's coming in on Zoom is Motorola Moto. Motorola Moto. Who is that? If you could please tell us who you are.
Hello, Moto. Oh, does everybody remember their Motorola Razr phone? I miss a flip phone.
Uh,
What is your name?
sorry, Your Honor, I'm not good at Zoom. I'm an observer.
What's your name?
Liz Norris.
Norris is the last name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What do you think you're in court for?
I'm being a support for my friend who has a case
Who's-
before you today.
Who's your friend's name then?
Nikki Wakefield.
Wakefield. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
I kind of, you're in courtroom 3. Which one? Okay, 4. All right. So now we know you're here. So you can
Yes,
mute your
ma'am.
microphone and we'll move on.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So that's not Caleb Ridley. And we have the Roddies here in court on 23316. And who's going to be my spokesperson here? All right. Mr. Roddy, were you able to perfect service on Ridley?
No, we were not.
Okay, so there was an order issued. Did you want to continue on with this or not?
Yes, we would.
Okay, so we're looking at 23rd, 30th, 1st of November, or not the first, but 7th. 7th, right? You in the right year? It's the 7th of November. Someone flipped my calendar. It's the old calendar. You're right, 6th. Okay, so we're within 23rd, 30th, 6th of November.
Let's go for the 6th.
All right, November 6th. So we're gonna, what do you want to do? Hand them notice or?
Yeah, I'll hand them that. I filled out
Okay.
the best that I could.
So we'll just get them everything here while we're in court. Okay, that makes some sense.
And I will still email a service packet with everything, but you can get the order today.
Yeah, so let me pay attention to this and we'll reset to the 6th. That gives you time to work on service. I would suggest don't wait for the 6th to wonder what happened the week before. Get a hold of whoever you hire, the sheriff, whoever it is that you're doing. So make sure you have the documentation to file with the court so we can know if they've been served by Monday.
Oh, I thought she was done all of this shit. But if I scroll, you know what happens.
So my clerk's gonna pull this together for you with the new court date on it. And then are you gonna just give them a packet today or email it?
They'll email. I'll email
Okay.
them.
So by email, you'll get the full, what we call service packet, all the information that needs to go to apprise Ridley of that hearing. And so just hold on a moment while we get at least this notice to you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
We had the sheriff attempt the last time. We'd like to try that again
It's up to
for
you.
the next
I'm
round.
not dictating how you serve.
Okay, but I heard you say emailing something over to the sheriff with one of the other cases, or how do I?
Well, that was done for a particular
Okay,
reason.
okay.
So
So will I get a copy that I can walk over to the sheriff?
Come on up.
They'll need the whole packet though, and you won't get that till after court.
So,
The sheriff will need more than this and you will get it by email after
So I
court.
print a copy and bring it back down. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Unfortunately, thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Paul Rubens.
Okay, now, let's see what we got left.
Search for Spock. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Your dog Princess ate her bacon swamp cabbage, then her sweet potato and filet mignon. Last. Filet mignon. Whoa. Welcome. Can you make sure that you've clocked in for your shift, please? I would appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Also, yeah, good med check time. Take your meds if you've got them. If you don't take meds, come and tell us what that's like. Still have never had anybody take us up on that. Everyone just takes their fucking medication. Or think about taking. You know how it goes.
All right, so let me take up at least Mr. Fernandez. We have you here. We have Christian Villa Sanchez on Zoom. Why don't you unmute Mr. Villa Sanchez? Everyone else on Zoom, mute your microphones. Do not join stay where you are. You can mute your microphones. You can douse your video, but I'm only talking with Mr. Villa Sanchez on Zoom, not you.
Did she just say douse your video like a fire? Douse your videos, please. Dampen the fire. What the fuck? Also, I'm realizing the LED lights that Donna has in her kitchen that change color constantly, that's why it's pulling the red out of sometimes, making me look real red. I swear.
So please keep your microphones muted and don't interrupt the proceedings. And then in court, I have Mr. Fernandez Hugo and Mr. Villa Sanchez. Can you see the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor. I can.
Okay, good. And then Mr. Fernandez, obviously, Mr. Villa Sanchez is on the screen for you. So I'm going to put you both under oath. So Mr. Fernandez, why don't you raise your right hand with me? And Mr. Fernandez, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Villa Sanchez,
I do too.
you'd raise your right hand with me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so this is case 23325. Mr. Fernandez has filed a request for an order protecting him from you. And you'll notice, both of you, that I'm looking to screens here back and forth because all of the court's information is electronic here. And so I need to do that. I am listening, just so you know, that's what I'm up to. And so right now I'm opening up the court's file here. And
I don't remember watching part of this
so
live.
Mr. Fernandez, we provided, as earlier we talked about, Mr. Santana to help you, and maybe we'll start out with interpreting and see how that goes. If it's too intrusive, then we won't do it. If you
Do you want me to interpret for you?
yes, if you would.
But of course.
So Mr. Fernandez, we're gonna get the interpreter involved. If at any time, Mr. Fernandez, you've decided that the interpreters is not helpful, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just continue on with having everything interpreted for you. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Villa Sanchez, it will be important that after you say something, you pause so that the interpreter can do the job. Now, with the interpreter in court, we can do more simultaneous interpretation. And I see the interpreter nodding yes. So it may go far more smoothly than when interpreters are on Zoom. But slow down your speech and give the interpreter an opportunity. So Mr. Fernandez has been granted a temporary order against you. And Mr. Fernandez, are you prepared to take that up today and give the evidence that you think the court needs?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Villa Sanchez, are you prepared to answer this petition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you receive the petition?
I just received the protection order hearing notice. That's all I received.
His echo, not mine.
So up right corner, does anything in that pile of papers say petition for protection order?
No, Your Honor.
So you have only one document that says temporary protection order and hearing notice?
That is correct, Your Honor.
I was concerned about that because I did not see that you were served notice of what Mr. Fernandez told the court, why the court issued this order. So if you don't have that document, then you can't be prepared for court.
Biblioteca? I think I just disconnected, but it's reconnected now. Donde, it's mad at me because of my Spanish accent. Donde está la biblioteca?
On this same, I'm not sure if you're referring to this, but I do have the paperwork where it shows what he is stating against me. I do have that here. It's attached.
So that document would be 22 pages long.
Yes,
And
that would be it.
page 1 would say petition for protection order. In the right-hand corner next to Mr. Fernandez's name and yours.
Yes, Your Honor, I do have it then. Yes.
Okay, good. So
Sorry
you
about
have that, good. And you have the order, the temporary protection order and hearing notice. You have that as well?
That is correct.
All right. Then there were 3 exhibits filed by Mr. Fernandez, that 2 handwritten and 1 typed bill of sale. Did you receive that as well?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Okay, all right. So you did. All right, so you're prepared to respond to all of that today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. All right. So what I will do here is turn first to Mr. Fernandez and ask him if there's anything more or what he'd like to say about why the court should issue this order against you. And then I will turn to Mr. Villa Sanchez and ask him, presumably, why he does not want this order issued against him. And then make the decision based upon what the law says, what the facts are, and the facts I determine what's admissible, what's allowed to be considered, what's relevant, what's not hearsay, that sort of thing. So, Mr. Villa Sanchez, do you object to this order issuing against you?
Yes, I do object, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Fernandez, why do you think you should have this order continue against Mr. Villa Sanchez?
Porque yo le compré una camioneta legalmente, donde tengo papeles que muestra que yo ya se la pagué y él se niega a darme el título.
Because I bought a pickup truck from him that I did this legally, and I pay for it, and he refuses to give me the deed of the vehicle.
I'm not really sure this is the right court for that. We're still in protection order court, as far as I'm aware. Thank you, Dana, for being here. MB, what a good question. How is this a TPO? Look at the judge's face. She's like, I got 17 fucking cases on the docket today. And you bring me an interpreter case about a title to a car? Really?
Y me anda persiguiendo.
The interpreter is clarification. Me anda persiguiendo, ¿qué quiere decir?
Me anda siguiendo, o sea, me anda stalking.
And he's been following me around, and he's stalking me.
Can you explain what you mean when he is stalking you?
¿Cuándo es lo que está persiguiendo a usted?
Mandó una de sus grúas de él a seguirme cuando yo estaba trabajando, porque es una grúa la que le compré.
Una grúa.
Sí.
What I bought from him is a tow truck.
A tow truck. And I'm not thinking he's talking about toes on your feet. Fingers of the feet. Fingers of the feet, as the Italians would call them. Fingers of the feet, I believe they call them in Italy. Orlando Chiquita. Did I miss Donna? Hi, Miss Donna. I hope you're well. There she is. And also KLF is here. K, man, you are working on a rough case this week. You always take some rough cases for us, but much appreciated. Guys, if you haven't checked out KLF's channel, please do that. It's linked on my court adjacent babies links. And search for Spock. Are you saying, wait, the judge of the stream is beautiful? Well, I'm the judge of the stream, but are you talking about the judge over there? I don't know. We're looking at court cameras. We don't know. They don't have HD. Oh, Judge Washington. Oh, yeah, she's beautiful for sure. Anyways, guys, once again, please remember to like everybody here is telling me they've clocked in for the shift, which I really appreciate. But make sure that you've done that, please, and thank you.
And when I was working, he sent, mandó una grúa que le siguiera.
Sí, uno de sus choferes que me anduviera siguiendo.
Oh, I was also just gonna recap here quickly. This is a TPO hearing, but I don't actually think it's a TPO hearing because this is about the title of a car, which sounds to me more civil. Wouldn't that be civil?
State Patrol, yo hablé a State Patrol.
He sent one of his drivers to be following me around, and then I called the State Patrol.
Lo pararon después de seguirme como más de 10 millas.
Dicho que lo pararon a quién, al que él mandó.
Ajá.
The State Patrol stopped that man that he had sent to follow me after 10 miles. ¿Sí?
Sí, lo detuvieron y mientras yo me iba a casa seguro.
And they retained him. They arrested.
Hi, Sky Rooster. Welcome from Scotland. Hope you're doing well. Let us know what you've had for breakfast. Or if you didn't like what you had for breakfast, tell us what you wish you had or are going to have. We usually do dinner, but if it's morning, tell us what you've had for brekkie.
There at that point, and to give me time for me to go home in safety.
Was that in the tow truck that you purchased from Mr. Villa Sanchez?
Y ese fue en el camión ese remolque que usted compró, señor Villa Sánchez.
Sí.
Yes.
When did you purchase this tow truck?
¿Cuándo fue que usted compró esta grúa?
You do have impeccable timing, Mikey. Right in as we're talking about hot judges, Michael comes in the door. He calls him that, except UK. Maybe his wife. What was I gonna say? You had a pretty crazy, well, you both covered the case, but this is the same day, obviously, you know, and as usual, saddled with a translator case. But at least this is simultaneous translation. It takes way less time. I think that's one place where Zoom really fucked up because it is so annoying to listen to all the translator cases. Oh, oh, it's my friends from Scotland that I met in Florida, 2 a.m., not long back from Florida. Might have met someone that looked just like you. You did. Well, thank you for coming and checking out the stream. I'm glad you guys made it back to Scotland okay and safe. And welcome to this chat. You'll have lots of fun here. We do always.
El 4/28 del 2022.
4/28/22.
And when was it that you were followed by a person you said worked for Mr. Villa
¿Y
Sanchez?
cuándo fue que fue usted perseguido por una persona que usted dice que trabaja para el señor Villa Sánchez?
Fue el jueves antes de que viniera a poner la demanda.
It was on Thursday before I came here to file the case.
So around October 5th,
Como el 5 de octubre por ahí,
or maybe earlier, September 28th.
o el
maybe?
28 de septiembre.
El mes que el 28.
I think it's the 28th.
Okay. And so since April of 2022, you've been attempting to get title to this vehicle?
Entonces, desde abril del año 2022, usted estaba tratando de conseguir el título de propiedad del vehículo.
No, se lo estaba pagando.
No, I was paying for it.
Once again, this does not sound to me like a TPO case. He's paying for this tow truck that he's bought from the guy, but he didn't get title, which is not very smart. Let's talk about that, but let's not. Also, was it Judge Fresh Hour, Mikey? And hi, Mikey. Judge Fresh Hour is pretty hot. Shackelford's not bad, I think. I used to think Judge Sims was pretty hot, especially when she got her hair done all nice sometimes. But she was like, I don't know, she had a cheerleader vibe to her. Let's see my other list of hot female judges. Oh, I actually like the one from Fulton County that has a weird accent. She's an older lady, but she looks pretty good. But she looks stern, like she'd be a good dominatrix or something.
And then you paid it off, and that's what you're looking for the title?
Entonces, usted terminó de pagarlo, ahí donde usted está buscando el título.
Así es, aquí
That's
tengo
correct.
los recibos y todo de la compra del vehículo.
I have everything here, the
Judge
receipts
Law.
and everything of the purchase of the vehicle.
El día 20 del 9/20 que fui a hablar con él, se puso agresivo.
On September 20th, I went to talk to him and he became aggressive with me.
And what happened there?
¿Qué pasó ahí?
Me maldició y me dijo que me fuera a la chingada de su oficina y que me iba a quitar la troca para atrás.
He cursed me out. In Washington, I lifted to another place.
So this sounds like a disagreement over ownership of a truck,
Parece que esto es un
but you're
desacuerdo
asking for an order protecting you from
de
him.
la
Tell me
propiedad
why.
de un camión, pero usted me está pidiendo una orden para protección a usted. Dígame por qué.
Porque me anda siguiendo y manda a sus guys a mi casa porque anda buscando la troca. No la vaya.
Because he's following me around and he's sending people to my house to look for the truck.
You made allegations
Usted hizo
that
alegaciones
Mr. Villa
de que el señor Villa
Sanchez
Sánchez
used a firearm,
usó un arma de fuego,
that he pulled a gun on me,
Que
is
le
what
sa-
I'm reading in your
que-
petition.
que él le sa-
Tell
le
me
sacó
about
un arma de
that.
fuego. Aquí lo que veo en la petición.
El día que fui a pedirle el tailo, que yo fui a arreglar las cosas, ni siquiera quiso ver mis papeles.
Yes, the day that I went to ask for the title of the vehicle, that I went to settle the whole thing, he didn't even want to look at my papers.
And what happened?
¿Y qué pasó?
Me sacó una pistola y me dijo que me fuera a la jodida de ahí y que me iba a quitar la camioneta.
I mean, he pulled a gun and he said for me to get the fuck out of there and that he was going to take the truck from me.
What kind of gun?
¿Qué tipo de
No
arma de
sé,
fuego?
era una chiquita.
It was a small one.
A small gun?
Un arma de fuego pequeña.
Judge, the size doesn't always matter. Like, a pew pew is a pew pew. There's a dick joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Sí.
Yes.
And do you know what it looked like?
¿Usted sabe qué aspecto tenía?
DeSanto makes me want to give her a Ricola and a nicotine patch and like maybe 3 weeks vacation. That's what I feel whenever I watch Judge DeSantos. Like, ma'am, you need to stop smoking. You need to let your throat rest a little bit. Stop allegedly guzzling cum or something like that. I don't know. I don't think that's what happens to your voice when you guzzle cum. I've done that. Didn't do that. But and then vacation. She needs some vacation too.
No, yo me retiré de ahí en cuanto la vi.
As soon as I saw it, I left.
And I had to get that out of you. Why didn't you tell me about that right away?
¿Por qué no me dijo eso usted inmediatamente?
No sé por qué me estaba haciendo otras preguntas.
I don't know, because you were asking me other questions.
I asked you what happened.
Yo le pregunté a usted qué es lo que había pasado.
So he pulled the gun on you,
Porque se le
and it
sacó
was
la
a
pistola.
small gun.
Es una pistola
Do you have
pequeña.
any familiarity with handguns or
¿Usted tiene,
rifles or any kind of guns?
usted tiene alguna, usted conoce algo de armas de fuego? O sea, rifle, pistolas.
No,
No.
And then how did he pull a gun on you? What did he do?
¿Cómo hizo que se la sacó? Se la enseñó. ¿Qué fue lo que hizo?
nomás la sacó y no me apuntó, sino nomás la sacó y me dijo que me fuera de ahí. Y yo me asusté y me fui.
He's just showed me the gun. I mean, he pulled out the gun and I got scared and I left.
So did he point it at you?
No,
Or
pardon me, you're wrong. The interpreter missed that. He didn't point it at me. The interpreter missed that.
so meaning,
I don't want to interrupt you, but. Judge
oh,
Lund
he's got
wants to-
time. Okay. Let's see if we can. 1 second. I've got another judge who's able to take a couple of cases here. I'm going to see what I can do. So if he could take.
We should do a smasher pass one night. Oh, we saw none before.
And
That's the swingers that we just watched earlier.
okay, and number 12, Williams and Wood. That's all.
You have to be careful about playing smasher pass because
I will,
YouTube people do that with
So
YouTubers.
folks, we're gonna send a couple of folks, you can still stay on Zoom to courtroom 4. There's another judge who's gonna take a little bit of this weight off. So maybe I can get through 17 cases, but maybe not. Nicole Wakefield, are you there? Janaya Lopez, are you with us?
Yes.
Okay, got both of you? Ms. Lopez, you there? You're muted.
Hey, by the way, that's the fucking other woman from the case earlier, Mikey. You see that? That's Janaya Lopez. That's the other woman. No, that's not the wifey. That is the new girlfriend. The wifey's name was Nicola Wakefield. I promise you, it was Janaya Star Lopez. Jesus fucking Christ. That's not what I thought she looked like when she was standing far away. You know what? After hearing her talk and the craziness, pass. That would be a pass. Oh, wifey second? Wifey S. I did see. Oh, was that her? That's the same girl? I looked in the Discord. I saw that. Is that the same girl from that? Interesting. Yeah, anyways, I would pass on that for her attitude. Also, she's swapping. No, she was stealing, it sounds like to me. So, a hard pass on that. So, yeah, smasher pass is not a potato dish from the Midwest with chives, Billy Elliot. Oh my God. Smasher pass is a game that you play when you look at somebody and you say if you would smash them, aka have sex, or pass. No. And that's just it. But like I said, people play that with YouTubers, so you got to be careful what you say. Obviously, not like small YouTubers, but big YouTubers. People do that all the time. It's like it was like a whole thing a couple years ago. Like swipe left or right, I guess so. Marry, fuck, or kill is better, yeah, but we don't like to admit to crimes or even veiled threats, Meg. You know, even though some people may find it threatening if you threaten to fuck them, not you, but anybody. You know, marry, fuck, shovel again, but yeah. MB, you would smash Judge Middleton. His dry sense of humor is sexy. Yeah, that's exactly how the game works. That's gonna be a context one for me. It depends on why. I would like to talk with Judge Middleton. I'd love to have dinner with Judge Middleton. I don't like ponytail. I'm just gonna tell you that. I'm not super hot on long hair on guys. So after he cuts his hair, maybe.
The two of you, my clerk is going to put in chat. Is that how you want to do it? Put in the chat function how to get into courtroom 4. I'm going to redirect you to courtroom 4, and whoever you have for your hearing, redirect them as well to courtroom 4. So look in the chat function and then use that to go to courtroom 4, and your hearing will be had there. All right, Ms. Wakefield
Okay, yes, ma'am, thank you.
and Ms. Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor, I do have a quick question though.
Well, you're going to
I-
ask it of the next judge, and
Okay,
I'm just going to send you to courtroom 4, and he'll take care of everything. All right.
perfect, thank you.
All right, thanks. And then what's the other one? I think there's only one other. And then Jeffrey Williams. Are you there, Jeffrey Williams?
Yes,
Jeffrey
Your-
Williams.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. And then John Wood.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, the two of you, we're going to redirect you to courtroom 4. My clerk is going to put in the chat function how to get into courtroom 4.
Yes, ma'am.
And so anybody that you've got for your hearing, let them know as well. It's in the chat function. Go to courtroom 4 and things will be heard there. Mr. Williams, you're good with that? You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Wood, you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so make your way.
If anybody missed it, we did cover that case already. And there is a command in chat now. When you type in wood, wood, it comes up and says, how much wood does Sergeant Wood's wife suck if she's sucking someone else's wood? Oh, honestly, that one literally tickled me late into the evening. Like after the stream was done, I was just like, oh, I cannot wait to fucking see that again. It makes me so happy.
Now,
I'm gonna go
Will do.
over and hold your hand while she's scanning, and I will be back. You are on recess if you've done all the things you.
all right, folks, if you could please mute your microphones, unless you're Mr. Villa Sanchez, mute your microphone. Looking at Nicole Wakefield, mute your microphone. Zoom user, mute your microphone. Brian's iPhone, mute your microphones. Mute your microphones. All right, so excuse that, Mr. Fernandez, Mr. Villa Sanchez. So, describe to me what Mr. Villa Sanchez did when he pulled the gun on you.
Describa qué fue lo que, descríbame qué fue lo que el señor Villa Sánchez hizo cuando sacó la pistola.
Nada, nomás la tenía a un lado. Se mostró bien agresivo y como le voy a repetir, me dijo que me fuera a la chingada ahí.
He just had it to the side. As I repeat, he was very aggressive and he told me to get the fuck out. That's it.
So, all right, and it was, so where was, do you remember where the barrel was pointing?
¿Usted recuerda para dónde estaba apuntando el cañón de la pistola?
Hacia la pierna. Hacia abajo. Hacia abajo.
To the leg, pointing down.
To Mr. Villa Sanchez's
Sí.
leg?
¿A la misma pierna del señor Villa Sánchez?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And how would you describe your behavior with Mr. Villa Sanchez? What am I going to hear from him about you?
¿Y cómo describiría usted el comportamiento suyo con respecto al señor Villa Sánchez? ¿Qué es lo que el señor Villa Sánchez me va a decir de usted?
Que yo quería arreglar el problema bien y le repetí que por qué se enojaba y no me hizo caso.
That I was trying to settle the matter without any trouble, and I don't know what he was getting upset.
You know where the gun came from?
¿Usted sabe de dónde salió esa pistola? No.
Was it always in his hand?
¿Siempre la tenía él en la mano? ¿La tuvo originalmente en la mano desde siempre?
No, yo la tenía en el pantalón.
No, I think he had it in his pants.
So maybe he took it out of a pocket
Entonces,
and then pointed it to the ground?
entonces, a lo mejor se la sacó de un bolsillo y luego apuntó ahí al piso.
Creo que sí.
I think so.
And then you say you left. Was the gun still out when you left?
Y usted dijo que usted se fue. ¿Todavía él tenía la pistola ahí que la tenía fuera cuando usted se fue?
No miré, yo nomás me fui.
I didn't notice. I didn't look. I just left.
And you left because the gun came out?
¿Y usted se fue porque salió la pistola?
Sí.
Yes.
Con miedo a que fuera, porque yo sé que tiene una extra llave de la troca.
Yes, I was frightened because I know he has an extra key to the truck.
Me fui a llevármela a esconderla.
Yes, I took it to hide it.
Porque yo he sido ripo, yo conozco la ley.
Because I have been a repo man and I know the law.
So you took it, meaning you took the truck or the key?
¿Quiere decir que usted se llevó la camioneta o se llevó la llave?
La camioneta.
The truck.
So everyone's clear, this is not about who owns the truck, who has rights to the truck, what should happen to the truck. This is all about whether this court should issue an order protecting Mr. Fernandez from Mr. Villa Sanchez. And the court cannot make orders that prevent people potentially from legal process. So we'll have to consider what this is all about in light of this truck. And I'm going to hear from Mr. Villa Sanchez more about that, about his take on this incident. So Mr. Fernandez, before this time that you say the gun was pulled on you, had there been such a situation with Mr. Villa Sanchez?
¿Había habido este tipo de situación antes con el señor Villa Sánchez?
No.
No.
De hecho, yo lo consideraba un amigo.
As a matter of fact, I used to consider him a friend.
Todo estaba bien.
Everything was okay.
Después de este incidente de la pistola, 2 días después me habló bien.
After this incident with the gun, 2 days later, he called me on the telephone and it was fine. It was like he was regretful.
Y quería que yo fuera a Tacoma a verlo a un lugar, no sé qué lugar era.
And he wanted for me to go to Tacoma to a certain place to meet with him. I don't know what kind of a place that was.
Yo no fui.
I did not go.
Él se volvió otra vez agresivo y me gritó cosas por teléfono.
He became aggressive once again and he was yelling at me over the telephone.
Porque traía yo la camioneta, la tow truck.
Because I had a tow truck with me.
Yo fui y la escondí y lo quería ir en mi carro a verlo y se enojó.
And I took the tow truck, I hid it, and then I went to see him in my car, and then he got upset.
And what did he say on the phone to you?
¿Y qué fue lo que le dijo por teléfono a usted?
Que ya no quería hablar más del tema y que me iba a dar a corte a quitarme la camioneta.
That he didn't want to talk about this subject anymore, and that he was going to take me to court to take the truck from me.
And then you went to meet him in person that day.
¿Y luego usted fue a reunirse con él en persona ese día?
Por teléfono, todo fue por teléfono.
Over the telephone. No, everything was over the telephone.
I misunderstood then. I thought you said you got in your car and went to see him.
Y había ido a verle en el carro.
No fui a verlo. Me dejé la camioneta y me fui en mi carro. ¿Dónde lo escondí?
No, I didn't go to see him. I dropped off the truck and I left in my car. I left the truck in the place where I hid it.
Okay, so you left where you were
O
in
sea,
your car. You didn't go see
No.
Mr. Villasanchez.
usted dejó el sitio donde usted estaba y se fue en su carro. Usted no fue a verlo.
Y
a
en
él.
ese tiempo yo le hablé para ir a verlo y fue cuando se enojó.
And at that point, I called him so I would come and see him. And it was then that he got angry.
When you say you were followed by one of Mr. Villasanchez's
Cuando usted dijo que le había
employees,
seguido uno de los empleados del señor Villasánchez,
now that
Eso-
happened
eso ocurrió
when about the
¿cuándo
end of September?
aproximadamente? ¿En septiembre?
Sí, como el 28.
Yes, around the 28th.
Describe what happened there.
Okay, let's just describe what happened in my ears, which have been hurting quite a bit lately since I got these new headphones. And then I just turned them slightly, and it feels like heaven in my ears right now, and they still work. Wow. Sometimes the lesson is don't just shove it in.
Describa qué fue lo que pasó ahí.
Yo tengo un contrato para IAA,
Hi, Jody.
¿Para quién?
para IAA, Insurance Auto Action,
Insurance Auto
Actions.
Actions. I have a contract with IAA, Insurance Auto Actions. Mhm.
So, una vez que descargué yo mis carros, cuando salí ya me estaba esperando su.
Once I unloaded the car, when I left, this person was waiting for me
Afuera en la calle.
out on the street
Me empezó a seguir.
and started to follow me.
Yo tenía que ir a echar diésel, me metía a la Safeway.
I needed to refuel with diesel and I went into Safeway
Y lo vi de atrás.
and I saw him behind me.
Y de ahí me fui a otra gasolinera
And from there, I went to another gas
y
station
me seguía siguiendo.
and he was still following me.
Luego me asusté, me agarré el freeway para southbound.
Then I got scared. I took the freeway southbound.
Pero como la troca hacía quedar sin diésel, le hablé a State Patrol.
But since I felt the truck was going to run out of diesel, I called the state patrol.
Le expliqué la situación y me dijeron que me regresara otra vez para atrás,
I explained the situation and they told me for me to come back
para Tacoma.
to Tacoma.
Y iba yo al State Patrol que está en Tacoma,
I was on my way to the state patrol in Tacoma,
que ahí estaba un oficial esperándome,
and there was an officer there waiting for me.
pero no llegué allí porque la troca no iba a llegar. So, un State Patrol me esperó en el gas 76.
I didn't reach that point because the diesel was not going to be enough for me to reach that point. And so a state patrol officer waited for me at ¿dónde es?
En el 76 gas station.
At a 76 gas station.
Cuando llegué allí, el State Patrol miró la troca blanca de él.
But when I arrived there, the state patrol saw the white truck from the other person
Siguiéndome.
following me
Y lo fue a perseguir porque se fue de paso.
and went after him. I mean, follow him because he just kept on driving.
Y ya cuando lo pararon, le hablaron a él. Y a mí State Patrol me dijo que me fuera a otra gas station.
And when they stopped this driver, they called him, and I was told for me to go to a different gas station.
Y esperar ahí hasta que no llegaron más State Patrols y vieron mi caso y me dijeron que me podía ir.
And for me to wait there for more state patrol officers to arrive and to consider my case, and they came and they looked at everything, and then they told me for me to go.
Mientras se quedaron con él platicándolo para mientras yo tenía tiempo de ir.
In the meanwhile, they stayed there with him, talking to him, to give me time for me to live,
So
to go.
how long were you followed?
¿Por cuánto tiempo le estuvieron siguiendo?
Como por, yo creo, entre 10 o 15 millas.
I would say 10 to 15 miles.
And why did you believe it was Mr. Villasanchez's employee?
¿Y por qué usted cree que era un empleado del señor Villasánchez?
Porque yo conozco la grúa blanca de él.
Because I Perdón.
Yo conozco la grúa de él de Apex Towing.
Apex,
Towing.
because I recognize the white truck belonging to him from Apex Towing.
So the white truck was a tow truck?
O sea, que ese camión blanco era un camión de remolque también.
Sí.
Yes.
And did it have some signage on it?
Yes.
Y tenía letreros
And it said
Yes.
what?
y decía
Apex
que
Towing.
Apex Towing.
All right. And then, and you say belonged to him, belonged to Mr. Villa Sanchez?
Y te dice que era de él. ¿Quiere decir de quién? ¿De señor Villa Sánchez?
Sí.
Yes.
correcto.
Correct.
You said you were scared. What were you scared of?
Usted dice que usted tenía miedo. ¿De qué tenía miedo?
Yo he trabajado mucho para tener esta camioneta y le he metido demasiado dinero.
I have worked a lot, really hard to get this truck, and I have invested a lot of money on it.
A pesar de que me la vendió que no servía,
Despite the fact that he sold it to me, that it was
yo le,
not good. Mhm.
le acabo de meter más de $12,000 y él lo sabe.
I have invested in it. The interpreter is clarification. Le acabo de meter, quiere decir, para hacer reparaciones.
Reparaciones.
I have done repairs and put in parts into this vehicle more than $12,000, and he knows about it. Mhm.
So you were afraid of what?
Entonces usted tenía miedo de qué?
Porque si él se apodera de la troca toda sigue en su nombre.
Because if he takes the truck from me, the truck is still on his name.
So you were afraid of having it repossessed.
Usted tenía miedo de que de ripo.
Así
se
es.
le quita. Yes.
And this happened about a week after you say you were in Mr. Villa Sanchez's office and he pulled a gun on you.
Y esto te dice que pasó una semana después de que usted fue a la oficina del señor Villa Sánchez
Así es.
y él le sacó una pistola.
Ujú.
Yes.
And you said you were in the repossession business before?
Y usted dijo que había estado usted en este negocio de ripo anteriormente.
Sí.
Yes.
So is this being followed? Would you?
This is such a weird case. This whole thing is weird. The interpreter being there is weird. What are you guys feeling on this? I mean, I'm not sure that this is TPO worthy. I'm not sure if it is because of him answering questions the way he was or what, but it's an odd situation. I mean, whenever, like, you always get the title of the car. That's sort of like basic, you know? Also, he admitted to like hiding the car. Like, what? Again, I've sold a lot of cars before, and the title is pretty important.
You have done that to get back a car or truck that you were repossessing?
Entonces esto de seguir una persona es algo que usted habría hecho para tomar un vehículo que usted está tratando de tomar reposición.
No podemos hacer eso.
Oh, and that makes it even crazier. Oh, MB, I'm jealous. Let's not talk. Well, we can talk, but also Erica Thorpe. So coming from a Spanish speaker, his story still isn't making sense. Okay, because I was blaming it on the, my not understanding Spanish. Because all I know is Donde está la biblioteca?
Not allowed to do that.
Ya tengo un abogado. Lo voy a demandar. So, esta es la tarjeta de él.
And I already have an attorney. I am going to sue him. I have the card of the attorney here.
Pero nomás quiero que se aleje de mi casa. No. Hasta que haga una corte para que me dé el title de la troca.
Possession is 9/10 of the law, but isn't that possessing the title? Isn't the item really its title?
But I just want him to stay away from my house. I mean, until we have the court date where I can get the title of the vehicle.
And that was my next question. You're asking the court to make Mr. Villa Sanchez do what or not do what?
Esa es la próxima pregunta. ¿Usted le está pidiendo a este tribunal que haga que Villa Sánchez haga algo o que no haga algo? ¿Qué es lo que está pidiendo usted?
Quiero que se mantenga lejos de mí y de mi familia y de mis carros.
I want him to stay away from me, my family, and my vehicles.
Y por favor que no le diga a sus choferes que me anden siguiendo.
And please, for him not to be telling his drivers to follow me around.
Did you recognize that person who was following you?
¿Usted reconoció a esa persona que le estaba siguiendo a usted?
No.
No.
And you are still working as a tow truck driver?
¿Y usted todavía sigue conduciendo como conductor de vehículos de remolque?
Sí, pero esa era mi pregunta. Que ahorita ya me quedé sin trabajo porque la troca ya no está aquí. So
yes, but that is my question, my issue. Now I am unemployed because the truck is no longer here.
So if you were working, your workplace would be on the road?
O sea que si usted estuviese trabajando, el sitio de trabajo suyo sería en movimiento en la carretera.
Así es.
That's correct.
Porque el contrato que tengo es de Geico, Progressive.
Because the contract that I have with Geico, Progressive,
State Farm.
And State Farm.
Me la paso todo el día ocupado llevando carros al auction.
And I'm busy all day long delivering cars for auction.
Anything else from you before I turn to Mr. Villasanchez?
¿Algo más que usted quiera decir antes de que yo le dé la palabra al señor Villasánchez?
Si sigo trabajando con la grúa, ¿podría estar yo seguro?
The question is, if I go on working with a tow truck, I mean, could I be safe?
What are you asking?
¿Qué es lo que usted le está preguntando a la juez? Estar seguro.
Por su agresión, yo tengo miedo de que me vaya a sacar la pistola y que me baje de la grúa.
I mean, due to his aggressive nature, I'm afraid that he was going to pull a gun and force me out of the truck.
Y ya pierdo yo todo.
And then I would lose everything.
Well, this order, the court issues this order, it would order Mr. Villasanchez not to contact you or your family, to stay away from your house. It would be an order that could be enforced by law enforcement. So if the court issues this order, then if something were to happen, you would need to call law enforcement and they would see this order and they would investigate and do what needs to be done. And all protection orders count on the parties believing that they should follow it. Believing that they shouldn't violate the law because a violation of a court order is a crime.
I don't think so, Judge. I think you're misunderstanding the whole premise of the fucking TPOs, which is the fact that one party tends to think that their actions are not bad, and they often don't follow court orders. Like, what a weird thing to say. Just bringing out the Minnesota in me, I could hear that. That's weird. What a weird thing to say. Gosh darn it, Judge. Okay.
So we count on that to help curb people's behavior as well. You have any other questions?
Afectar el comportamiento de las personas. ¿Usted tiene alguna otra pregunta?
Pues nada más. Espero que sí se cumpla la corte porque pues es mi fuente de trabajo y
The interpreter needs clarification. Espero que se cumpla la corte. ¿Qué quiere decir?
O sea, pues que lo mantengan lejos de mí si se puede.
Well, I hope that the court has effect and he stays away from me because I need to work.
Y no tengo otra manera de cómo obtener dinero para
And-
pagarle este juez que me va a cobrar $6,000 para agarrar el title.
And I have no other way for me to earn money so I can pay this attorney that is going to charge me $6,000 for me to get the title.
Oh.
So let me turn to Mr. Villa Sanchez for his side of all of this. Mr. Villa Sanchez, what would you like to say in response to these allegations?
Thank you, Your Honor. To begin, last week, I did submit my evidence to the court. I don't know if you received it, but I did file it last week
When did you file information?
on Friday.
It's Monday. Do we have anything?
Next Monday?
No, he filed this on Friday. Did
on
we get
Friday.
anything? How did
No,
you
we
do that?
didn't.
How did you file it?
I went to the court. I went to the court there in Thurston County, and I went to the counter, and they took it from me, and they were going to download it.
Hey, Loud Elvis. No M word, no unaliving charges here. That he's actually just trying to get the title to a tow truck he supposedly paid for in full.
Okay.
Is that saying that we didn't receive something? So yeah, it was uploaded. It's in the defendant.
I don't have any defendant exhibits.
It's in the defendant exhibits, Your Honor. If you could just click over to 17J tab, I'll come and show you.
So why are they there?
I couldn't.
Guys, and this is a ton of information. I really could have had this. I was here till 6. You guys should have told me. So 30 pages. All right. Yeah, you guys got it. All right. There are 30 pages of information, and maybe I should have been more clear with you, Mr. Villa Sanchez, when I asked if you were ready. I should have asked if you had filed any information, and that's my fault. Because there's 30 pages of information that Mr. Fernandez needs to be able to look at and review and potentially respond to. So we cannot do that this morning. Mr. Fernandez, we're gonna have to set this to another day and start over. Because you need to have time, and the court needs time, to look at what Mr. Villa Sanchez filed on Friday. Now, it's no one's fault that happened on Friday. We try to have these hearings quickly, and so things happen quickly. I wasn't aware that they were available for me, and so
You just talked about
surprise
looking
to
at the
me.
screens. What the fuck were you looking at?
And I need to look at all of this to be prepared. So,
Sounds like user error.
Interpreter Socorro who runs it, or do we set it, or?
I will email them and let Sephora know, and then she
Okay.
schedules.
Perfect.
Yeah, MB, except that she wants to
So-
postpone it for 2 weeks.
We're gonna, I've heard this. Let's try. You're both been served. There's no service anymore. When's the 23rd? Let's just set this the 23rd. Yeah. All right, we're gonna set October 23rd, Mr. Villa Sanchez. That's a Monday. Any issue with the 23rd? 2 weeks.
Should.
I don't.
And Mr. Fernandez, you're good for the 23rd?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll set this on the 23rd, 9 o'clock. We'll have a Spanish language interpreter, because I think that has been helpful.
Uh-huh.
How much has this
And
cost so
again,
far?
neither one of you has to serve each other again, but this gives Mr. Fernandez time to look at the evidence that was filed by Mr. Villa Sanchez, and that's in the court file. And Mr. Hernandez,
Señor Fernández,
do you feel comfortable getting into the court file with we can give you instructions and then you can
This is in Washington State.
review all that?
Si le damos instrucciones, usted se siente bien de que usted puede entrar al expediente judicial aquí para leer todos esos documentos que él puso ahí.
¿No puede ser imprimidos?
Could they be printed for me?
It's a lot of material.
Es mucho material.
That's fine. Si me dan el link, está bien.
If I could be given the
Is
link,
there somebody there?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. All right. So we do have a clerk available. So after court, I would suggest you go directly to the lobby, the civil window, and they'll work on getting that information to you.
y le puede dar esa información
And
a
then Mr. Villa
usted.
Sanchez, you've obviously got all the information that's been filed, but both of you,
Pero ustedes
before
dos,
that
antes
hearing
de
on the
eso,
23rd,
El día 23,
go to the court file,
vayan al expediente
review what's
judicial
in there in case
revisen
there's
lo que está ahí
other
para ver
information
si alguna otra información
that either of
adicional
you file later, so that we
que
can all
alguien
be
ha
ready.
presentado más tarde, para que todo el mundo la lea.
But I'm gonna make an order
Yo voy a dar
here
una orden
that
aquí
you
el día de
not
hoy,
file
de que
anything with
ustedes
the court that you want the court to consider any later than Wednesday, the 18th of October.
doy una orden aquí que tiene una fecha tope del día 18 de octubre, miércoles, para presentar cualquier documento que ustedes quieran que el tribunal considere.
If there's nothing else to
Si no
file,
hay
that's
nada
great.
reservado, está bien.
But if there's something
Pero si
more
hay
you want the
algo
court
más
to
que quieren
consider
que el
about
tribunal
this,
considere acerca de
no
este
later
caso,
than
no más
October
tardar de la fecha
18th.
18 de octubre.
If it's later than that,
Si
the
es más
court
tarde
may
de esa
not
fecha,
consider it at all.
el tribunal puede ser que no lo considere esa evidencia en lo absoluto. Ok,
Okay, wow. Guys, if you're just getting here, please make sure you've clocked in for your shift by hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the new channel. That's very helpful. We're going to watch a little bit more. We're not quite done for the night, but I need you guys to do that for me. It's very helpful. We're trying to get to 500. Please.
Give me a moment as I write all of this
denme un
down.
segundo mientras yo escribo todo esto.
Useless as a Canadian's healthcare card in the United States.
Your Honor.
Mr. Villa Sanchez?
Entonces, señorita,
Just so you know, any all the evidence that I've submitted, he should have it on his phone because it's
Well, I know, but when we have a lawsuit,
sí,
um,
vamos a tener
whatever you file, we have to kind of start over. Everybody gets it.
que usted haya presentado, todo el mundo debe tenerlo. Comenzar otra vez.
Hiya, Tin Man. Thanks, Vicky. You know, I appreciate that. We'll get there. We'll get there. Each and everything. Thank you for being here, saying hi to each and every one of us. Ladies and gentlemen, that's another reminder. Hit that like button so YouTube Daddy likes me a bit. This judge has been useless today. I'm mad about it. She's complaining so much about. You're allowed to mention me, MV, just not link drop, I think is the etiquette. Maybe I'm wrong. I go into other
So,
chats
Mr.
and talk
Villa
because
Sanchez, my clerks will email you the order that I just wrote that says
let me finish that thought because I talk everywhere and it has nothing to do with trying to grow the channel. In fact, a lot of people probably still just go subscribe to the other channel because it gets more subscribers every day than this one.
it's the new court date and makes that order that everything gets filed no later than October 18th. And then we will hand notice of that to you, Mr. Fernandez, since you're here. And then we expect to see you all back on what is it? 23rd. Thank you. Ready to go forward with that hearing.
But will you
Any
be ready,
questions,
Judge?
Mr. Villasanchez?
Yes, Your Honor. The protection order, also at his family, and I don't know his family, and I own businesses around the area from him. My post office is literally like less than 500 feet from his house. So I don't know his family, and that's one thing that kind of scares me because I'm in the area a lot because of my business. I own a tire shop as well, and I don't know who they are exactly. So I don't want to get in trouble bumping in. I don't know how it works going into the store or something like that and seeing them and me not knowing who they are.
All right, so you're saying your business is within 1,000 feet of Mr. Fernandez's home?
Not my business, the post office, right? Pay all my bills.
Is there another, is that where you receive your mail in a PO box or?
Yeah, that's for my business in Lacey. I've been using a different office, not a problem. I'm just asking a question as far as being safe.
So this order says you're to stay 1,000 feet away from Mr. Fernandez, his family, the named child, and Mr. Fernandez's workplace, which we've discovered is really on the road. So not knowingly come within 1,000 feet or remain within 1,000 feet of those places. But the post office that you use to receive your mail is within 1,000 feet, but you're saying that for the next 2 weeks, potentially a different mailbox or a mail facility you can use or not?
Yeah, that's not a problem. I was just asking about his family because if I was to run into his family at the store, I would know it was his family. I've met them once, so I don't want to get into trouble with me not knowing that they're in the area. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So you won't knowingly contact Mr. Fernandez nor his family. So excellent. And Mr. Fernandez, probably a good idea to make sure that your family knows who Mr. Villasanchez is. You've asked for this order to protect them as well, so they should know so that they can protect themselves.
They know him.
Okay. All right, so we will be back. The order stays as it is for now. We will be back the 23rd to determine if the order continues after that day. Any questions, Mr. Fernandez?
No, that was all.
All right. So, Mr. Villasanchez, you can be on your way. And then Mr. Fernandez, this is the order for you.
So to recap that just atrociously wasteful hearing, nothing happened. Also, hi, Rusty. Hi, Arizona. Thank you for being here. Please make sure you've clocked in for your shift. Mikey, welcome back. You getting lots of work done? Yeah, this judge is crazy. She just literally wasted like 40 minutes on this. And Judge Manning would have just cut through the bullshit. Did we think about any other female judge? Okay, well, I thought of a few female judges I would bone. I would smash, I guess we would say. Gambling.
Your Honor.
Thank you.
Would that be all?
That is all. Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. See you on the 23rd.
El día 23. Por nada, sí.
And Mr. Santana, we'll move on to our next matter that needs your assistance. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. So, the Ojedas?
Yes, we're here.
All right. So, Tabitha Ojeda, Jose Ojeda Vargas. And I have Mr. Hart.
Yes, present, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, present. That reminds me of taking attendance in school. roll call, if you will. What else would they call that? I think in Europe or in the UK they would call it the register. Can anybody think of any other names for attendance? Robot roll call. No. Mikey, you've not been thinking of judges? Cambot. What? High school vibes. Beverly, I'm getting high school vibes here too. I believe somehow this is another interpreter case, but we'll see. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Also, there we go. Here, miss, I'm here. Yeah. But like, what do they call that? Attendance roll call. There's another weird word for it that teachers use because they're teachers. Where's Sashina?
So I think we have Mr. Santana here for Mr. Ojeda Vargas.
Yo creo que tenemos al señor Santana aquí por el señor Ojeda Vargas.
Claro.
Señor Ojeda Vargas, ¿está ahí?
Sí, sí, quizá lo escucho.
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
All right, so Mr. Hardy is settled?
Yes, thank you.
¿Han llegado? You said settle?
Settled.
Ok. ¿El caso se ha resuelto? Responde sí.
All I can see, Mr. Hart, is the light on your ceiling.
Es que tiene
Oh,
la,
sorry, we're
la
here.
luz en
Here.
el techo. Ok, estamos aquí, sí.
Say hi.
Sí.
All right, so are you intending to have this hearing with the child in the room? You don't have another
Usted
option?
tiene intención
I
de tener
don't, but I
hijos
can move away, but I'm
con el niño en la habitación? No, no tengo otra opción. Me puedo alejar.
All right, well, let me put you
Bueno,
both under oath and we
déjeme
can at least
ponerle
get
ambos
started
bajo
here.
juramento.
Both under oath rhymes.
So, Mr. Hart, if you'd raise your,
Levanta el mano derecha.
Mr. Hart, you need to find a place to be, so
Oh.
let's just wait.
I apologize, Your Honor. I'll sit down.
Me disculpa, señoría.
Is that where you want to be?
Ahí donde
Is that
quiera
gonna
estar.
work?
Ahí va a funcionar así. Sí.
All right, so Mr. Hart, raising
Sí,
your right
ahora
hand
levanta
with
la mano
me.
derecha conmigo.
You swear you'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Jura que va a decir la verdad,
I
toda la
do.
verdad, nada más que la verdad. Lo
Thank
juro.
you. And Ms. Ojeda,
Señor
you
Ojeda,
could raise your right hand with
levanta la
me.
mano
Do you
derecha
swear to tell the
conmigo.
truth, the whole
Jura
truth, and
decir la
nothing but the
verdad, toda la
truth?
verdad, nada más que la verdad.
I
Lo
do.
juro.
Sí,
Lo juro.
And Mr. Ojeda Vargas,
Señor Ojeda Vargas,
raising your right
levanta la
hand.
mano derecha.
Do you swear to tell the truth,
Jura
the
decir la
whole truth,
verdad,
and
toda la
nothing
verdad,
but the
nada más que la
truth?
verdad. ¿Lo jura?
sí.
I do.
Are you able to move that inset? Do you see up there? It covers her face. Can you move?
He's
that?
vaping.
Right there? I don't know. How do I do it? Oh, see, get it out of the, see what I'm saying? It's covering her face. It's difficult for me to read her expression. Is there any way to move that? I don't know.
Judge, what are you fucking looking at?
Can we get our friend Blaine in here? Is he available or anybody knows how to?
They have a friend who deals with this kind of thing? What the fuck is going on? Hold on. No, just go for it. Just
Oh, I see what.
Up on the big screen, the
Yeah, I
inside
know.
of the
I don't
court,
know how to.
if we can turn it off. Maybe even speaker. Can you move down?
I honestly am not sure. I'll ask Justin.
Okay, well, I'll continue on looking on my screen. All right, we are here about orders that have been issued against Mr. Hart
Órdenes
on
que fueron
behalf
dadas
of
provocadas contra el
Villojedas.
Hart por Villojedas.
And these are two causes.
hold on. Who is he translating to? Oh, no, I'm yelling at the stream, Donna. Don't worry. It's a lot at home, too.
Numbers,
Y estos
case
son
number
números de causa,
23-322 and 23-323.
323.
And Mr. Mr. Hart, are you
Señor Hart,
prepared to
¿estás
respond to
listo para
these
responder
allegations?
a estas alegaciones?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, su señoría.
And I asked, have you filed or want the
Le
court to
pregunté
look at any other information?
si usted ha presentado
I do
documentos
not,
que
Your
el
Honor.
tribunal quiere considerar otra información. No, su señoría.
And I understand
Y yo tengo entendido
the difficulties
la
of having to
dificultad de
watch kids and also
de
be in court.
estar cuidando
But
a
are
un
you gonna
niño
be able to do
y
this
estar en la
hearing
audiencia del tribunal, pero va a poder
with
usted hacer esta
the
audiencia
kids nearby? Are they
con
gonna
los
need your
niños cerca,
attention?
van a necesitar su atención.
I think it will be fine, Your Honor.
Yo creo que va a estar bien, señoría.
Are you the only adult
Usted
to
es
watch
el único
them?
adulto que
I
puede
am.
estar aquí viéndolo. Your Honor, may I ask Mr. Ojeda Vargas if he has a cell phone so I can do this simultaneously into his ear so that would interfere? Sí. Señor Ojeda Vargas, ¿usted tiene un teléfono que yo le pueda llamar?
Sí.
¿Me da el número de teléfono, por favor?
360.
Agarre su teléfono que yo le voy a llamar directamente para que usted esté oyendo todo esto de manera simultánea.
Está bien.
Sí.
Who was whispering?
So, Blaine, is there any
Is he
way?
whispering to a child?
that box that covers the witness's face, is there any way to move that or turn it off without interrupting what everyone sees?
Sí, lo escucho.
Oh my God, that color of blue gives me flashbacks.
Ok. Entendido.
So that's the only place it's gonna be.
You gotta mute him. Come on now. Fucking mute both of them. You cannot all three of that going on.
Okay.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? All I'm trying to do, and so that's the only place it can display.
This is unbelievable on her 17 docket day. Anyways, by the way, guys, I got another new dress. Isn't it cute? I think it's super cute.
And then what does that?
We can guess how much it costs if we want. It's not as cheap as the last one. I'll give you a hint. Remember how she was so busy she had to offload cases to the other judge? And now she's doing unnecessary tech support?
Hey.
I'm missing numbers. $75,
We're not
Courtney.
able to fix
Love
that.
it. $15, $13.99, $37.52, $4.99. Goodwill, $10. Ooh, that was not quite.
That's what I just did after taking her the house. Everybody.
Yeah, without tax,
So we'll
pre-tax.
just live with it. We need to keep going. Well, yeah, I mean, we can put that in your list of things.
$24.99. Okay. Nobody has hit the number yet. I'll say that.
Sure. We can take a recess.
You just
and
noticed my.
little
What have you
rest.
been watching?
Señor, le vamos a llamar otra vez dentro de un par de minutos. Yo tengo que correr al baño, ¿vale?
Dale. Está bien.
I'm going to find the receipt so that I don't lie.
He just needed a break. So I think I'll take a, oh, now we can't, where did everybody go? Oh, you're still messing with it? Well, while you're messing with it, I'm gonna take it one case at least. We can't. Okay, well, there's not really anything else I can do right now. I can fill out
Yeah, it's hard to get up. I have set up all the cords over here, and I didn't want to stand on them.
No, that's what I wanted you to do to save time. Thanks.
This, how I did those is fine. I'll continue those that way.
Okay, I learned something new. Sales tax is 6.5% in Florida. While they're dealing with that, this is a lovely dress. It's called a Racerback Scoop Y. Anyways, I don't think anybody got it. I'm gonna scroll back up and see. Oh, Mikey, you did get it. It was $6.99. $6.99. Same as the bra.
Shorten it up for today because waste time doing orders.
See me after class and I'll tell you what your prize is. The salad.
Sure.
What is have a free spin on the wheel?
It's a mess. Got that one done. And then this. And all right, so we're now reconvening hearing of the Ojeda's versus Hart. Mr. And so the Mr. Santana came up with a good idea to do simultaneous interpretation, which will give us more time. The only issue is, Mr. Santana, is we need to be sure that your statements are on our record as well. And that red lighted object on the desk is our microphone that accepts the recording. So you'll need to be closer to that. You can pull it closer to you.
Tenemos que quedar, que conte en acta que lo que usted está diciendo también.
Please stop it.
Aquí, para eso tiene que acercarse al micrófono.
And we also have to be able to hear Mr. Ojeda Vargas on our record.
en actas.
So, Mr. Ojeda Vargas, you're able to hear the court?
Señor Ojeda Vargas, ¿usted puede oír a la juez?
Sí.
Yes.
And we'll be able to capture his statements on our record as well.
Y vamos a poder también recibir lo que le está diciendo, que conten actas también.
Please tell me. Please tell me they're not gonna continue this like this. Why? Why would they have done that? Oh, it's worse than it was. Lisa, I can't. I'm bound by the LawTuber rules. I bet you did, Mikey, but you have 700 more videos than I do, or more than that. Plus, we make things fun. Wow, someone in Maine won $2 million on Powerball. Night, Dana. It's your 7th anniversary tomorrow. You got to get the gift together before everyone's up in the morning. How many people are you married to? That you have multiple people getting up.
So back to Mr. Hart.
Ahora de vuelta con el señor Hart.
The problem being here is you're the adult taking care of kids today, and I'm concerned about your ability to defend against this matter. And I would, for that basis, grant a continuance. The orders would stay in effect, but we would have another court date, and I would require you to find a solution so that you can either be in court or on Zoom without the distractions of small children.
Your Honor, I feel very comfortable moving forward today with your permission.
All right, we will go forward then, giving you that opportunity, but we've got to make sure that the kids don't need you for the next while. All right?
I understand, Your Honor.
It may impact your ability to defend against this. You realize that?
I understand.
All right, so I'm looking at the petition. Mr. Hart, it looks like you received notice of this hearing last Monday, is that right?
That is accurate.
And you got a copy of the temporary protection order?
That is accurate.
And you got a copy of the very 15-page petition?
That is accurate.
So what we'll do is I've already put folks under oath, and I'll hear from the Ojedas, and then I will turn to you, Mr. Hart, and make a determination whether this order will continue after today. And you'll notice that I'm looking at other screens here because our court file is electronic, and so I'm looking at what's been filed to refresh my recollection and if I'm pointed to it by the parties. So first off, let me turn the Ojedas. I'm happy to hear from both of you, but one at a time. Who will begin?
I can begin, Your Honor.
So anything else about your request for an order against Mr. Hart that I should know?
I would ask that if we were to move, that the order be extended to the standard 1,000 feet and not 20 feet. We're currently neighbors, and so that's why the last judge reduced it to 20 feet. And so I just would like that to be mindful if we do move from the neighborhood.
Si nos mudamos de este vecindario, yo quiero que la orden sea de 1,000 pies de distancia, no de 20 pies como está al presente, porque al presente somos vecinos aquí.
Do you anticipate that happening?
¿Usted piensa que esto va a pasar en el futuro?
We are doing our best. We are hoping in a few months that it will happen.
Estamos haciendo nuestro máximo esfuerzo. Espero que esto pase en unos pocos meses.
maybe I could ask you though, first to talk,
Quisiera le-
if there's anything more to tell me about the reason why you're asking for this order against your neighbor.
Debería comenzar pidiendo
absolutely.
por qué está pidiendo esta orden contra su vecino. Seguro que sí.
Yeah, so several years back, our daughter and Jordan's daughter were friends. They would play in
So
the
I know the
neighborhood.
background
Yo sé
Okay.
el historial.
because you wrote all that.
Oh, we don't. So you could just not be rude.
Usted
Down in your
escribió todo
petition.
eso en la
So I'm gonna
demanda
direct you.
suya.
Is there something you
Quiero-
want me to focus
¿Hay
on?
algo que usted quiere
Is
que yo
there
me
something
enfoque?
new to
¿Hay algo
know?
nuevo por
Something you
saber?
didn't put in your
¿Algo que usted
petition?
no puso en su demanda?
I did upload updated evidence from him breaking the temporary order 3 times, so I would like to note
Yo-
on that as well.
Puse evidencia de que violar la
And
orden
those were
3
the
veces.
exhibit
Esos son los
D,
elementos.
E, F, and G.
Yes, and
Ah,
the police report number is
the
also
interpret-
uploaded for your
The
reference.
interpreter means that exhibits what?
Exhibits
Elementos de prueba.
D,
D,
E,
E,
F,
F,
and G.
G. Y él dijo que sí. Ujú.
Ms. Ojeda, that those are your exhibits?
¿Esos son los elementos de prueba suyos?
That's correct.
Correcto.
Tell me about those.
Dígame, o sea, hábleme de esos elementos de prueba.
After the papers were served, Jordan continued to come to our property line and spit on our property.
The interpreter means that
You got rid of this, Mikey? They're spitting on each other's property, even if we have to hear it in Spanish. In Spanish, it's pretty good.
spit on our property.
Spit, yes.
Después de que la orden fue promulgada, él siguió viniendo a nuestra a la línea de la propiedad y estaba escupiendo ahí nuestra propiedad.
And that occurred 3 times.
Y eso ocurrió 3 veces.
And that's what those exhibits depict.
Y eso es lo que muestran estos elementos de prueba. Sí,
There are 4 exhibits.
son 4
One-
elementos de prueba.
I had just re-uploaded the previous evidence, so it was all in one place. The previous one, I think it was D, was a previous video of him spitting on my property.
The D spitting video.
De que estaba escupiendo mi propiedad.
And when did this happen approximately?
¿Y esto cuándo ocurrió aproximadamente?
The most recent were on last Wednesday,
Fue el último miércoles.
and D was the date that we
Fue el día que
had the temporary order approved, but he had not yet been served papers.
la orden de por la había sido aprobado, pero a él no le habían dado los papeles.
So you share a property line?
Usted tiene una...
No, we don't. There is one house in between ours.
No, no es así. Hay una casa entre la casa de la nuestra.
So you would have to
Entonces,
do what
él
to
tendría
get to
que
your
hacer
property line?
la propiedad, la línea de la propiedad suya.
He would have to walk on the
Él tiene que
sidewalk
caminar por la acera.
to our property. I mean, we share a sidewalk. There is one house in between ours.
Casa entre la casa de la mía.
So from where
Entonces-
do you say Mr. Hart spit onto your property? Where was he?
¿Desde qué parte? ¿Dónde dice que estaba el señor Hart cuando fue
He was
escupido?
right in front of our front lawn.
Frente ahí, justo de
On the
el
sidewalk.
jardín delantero, ahí en la acera.
Walter, maybe he was doing like some translating for them. I still don't understand why they're translating. She's married to some guy who doesn't speak English. Is that what we're supposed to understand here?
And how is it that you happened to be there at
¿Cómo
just
es?
the time to
¿Y cómo
take
fue
that information?
que usted estaba ahí justo en ese momento para recibir esa información?
We have security cameras, Your Honor.
Tenemos cámaras de seguridad, su señoría.
So these are videos from your security
O
camera.
sea que estos son videos de
Correct.
su cámara de seguridad. Correcto.
And when did you discover that this had happened?
¿Y cuándo descubrió usted que esto había ocurrido?
The most recent one's about 30 minutes after.
El último reciente fue como unos 30 minutos después.
Were these all the same day or different days?
¿Todos fueron el mismo día o diferentes días?
They were all the same day in about a matter of, I think, 30 minutes to an hour, where he came within 3 times.
Todos el mismo día, yo diría que dentro de
And spit?
30 minutos a una hora, donde vino 3 veces.
And then you went to your
Y
security
luego
camera
usted fue a la cámara de
video
seguridad
and
suya,
viewed
al
it
video,
Correct.
after it happened.
después de que había pasado. Sí, correcto.
This is middle school because this is about kids and these are their parents fighting. How embarrassing for the kids.
There's a long list in your petition going back to February of this year,
Su demanda, remontándose a febrero de
coming
este año,
into the last allegation September
la última
26.
alegación del día 26 de septiembre,
Why come to the court
y venía al tribunal
now?
ahora.
I was trying to be really patient and I was hoping it would go away. And I would just ignore every single time he did it. I wouldn't try to escalate it at all. I would just ignore. Unfortunately, the last few weeks it has escalated. And in addition to spitting at our family or on our property, he also is using his vehicle to swerve over the center line towards our car or to go right next to our car to intimidate us.
De la línea blanca y acercándose a nuestro vehículo para intimidarnos.
Our daughter is also, who's 8, is also very worried about being at school
También estar en la escuela
and seeing him at pickup line and drop off.
y
She
verlo
knows
a
that
él
he spit at her or towards her.
de recogida y de entrega de los niños.
And so we want it to stop for her sake and for ours.
Para el bien de ella, para nuestro bien, queremos que esto pare.
You say in your
Creo que
petition
dijo en
that
su demanda
on the 26th of
del
September,
27 de septiembre
that your husband
de que su esposo
was driving
estaba
with your
conduciendo
child
con su
and you're
niña
alleging
y usted alega
that Mr. Hart
señor
swerved. Can maybe I hear from Jose Ojeda Vargas about
hizo
that
un giro
incident?
brusco y quizás el señor Ojeda Vargas me puede explicar acerca de ese incidente.
Please describe that.
Por favor, describa eso, señor.
Claro, yo venía a mi casa y el school bus, el bus escolar, estaba dando vuelta.
I was coming to my house and the school bus was turning.
Y Jordan estaba atrás del bus escolar.
Jordan was behind the school bus.
Y yo proseguí mi camino.
And I went on my way.
Cuando Jordan giró, él hizo como que me iba a chocar con su carro.
And then he turned the steering wheel of his vehicle. He did it like he was going to crash against my car.
Con mi hija en el carro.
And I had my daughter in the car.
Y proseguí a llegar a mi casa.
And I went on. I kept on driving to come to my house.
Y cuando llegué a mi casa, estaba muy enojado por lo que había hecho.
And when I came to my house, I was very upset for what he had done.
Y yo le hablé con mi esposa y le dije que le tenía que hablar al policía.
And I talked to my wife and I told her that she had called the police.
Y yo estaba fuera en mi front porch.
And I was outside my front porch.
Y mi esposa estaba hablando al número de no emergencia.
And my wife was calling the number that is a non-emergency number.
Y mi esposa le empezó a explicar que teníamos que hacer preguntas, qué es lo que teníamos que hacer.
And my wife started to explain and started asking questions about what we were supposed to do.
Quiero aclarar algo. Mi esposa habló al 911.
I want to clarify something. My wife did call 911.
Let me back you up.
Déjeme retroceder un segundo.
When Mr. Hart turned towards your vehicle, where do you think he was going to collide with your vehicle?
Cuando el señor Hart hizo un giro hacia el vehículo de usted, ¿en qué parte usted piensa que iba a chocar con el vehículo suyo?
De mi lado, del lado del chofer.
My side, the driver's side.
And was he headed, were you headed at each other or was he headed away from you?
¿Y ustedes iban conduciendo en sentido?
The language of love. That's a good point. Like, what do they speak at home? Seriously, I don't even know.
Contrario uno hacia el otro o ustedes dos iban conduciendo en el mismo sentido?
Sentido contrario, yo iba y él venía.
In opposite directions. I was coming and he was going.
Okay. And is there, can you describe the roadway there? Is there a center line? Are there sidewalks? What?
¿Usted puede describir cómo es la carretera ahí? O sea, ¿tiene aceras en los lados? ¿Tiene una línea divisoria en el centro? ¿Puede describir?
No tiene línea en el centro. Por el lado donde va él hay un sidewalk y por el lado donde estoy yo no hay.
There's no division line in the center. The side where he was driving, there is a sidewalk on that side. The side where I was driving, there's no sidewalk.
There's no line down the middle of the road?
¿No hay una línea ahí en el medio de la carretera?
No.
No.
They speak in pearl necklaces, Billy.
And it's a public road?
¿Y es una carretera pública?
Supongo que sí.
I'm guessing so.
It's on 15th Avenue Southeast.
And then in the petition, it talks about the week of September 18 to 22nd. And I think we might need to hear from your wife about this situation.
En la demanda está hablando de la semana del 18 de septiembre al 22 de septiembre. Puede ser que necesitemos ahora oír de parte de su mujer acerca de esto.
What happened, Ms. Ojeda?
Yeah.
You driving the vehicle and seeing Mr. Hart in his vehicle.
¿Qué pasó, señor Ojeda, con usted conducir el vehículo y ver al señor Hart en el vehículo de él?
I was at the stop sign at 10th Court Southeast.
Estaba ahí en la señal de pare. Señor, ¿me está oyendo bien aquí por el micrófono directamente, ahí con su mujer? ¿Me está oyendo bien?
Sí, yo sí lo escucho.
Entonces quítese el teléfono ya, me está oyendo directamente ahí. ¿Sí?
Ok.
¿Me sigo oyendo bien ahí?
Sí.
Ok.
Ready?
Okay.
Continue. Okay. And I was stopped waiting for cars to pass, and he had turned the car onto the street that I was on and approached.
Dejando que los carros pasaran. I'm going to do it consecutive, so please stop.
Okay.
Yo había parado dejando que los carros pasaran. Yes, please go on.
And his window was unrolled and his face and arm were outside of the window.
Él había bajado la ventanilla, tenía el rostro y el brazo fuera de la ventanilla.
And he turned very close to my car where it almost collided against my car.
Y él se acercó demasiado cerca de mi carro, casi chocaron los dos carros.
What part of your car were you afraid he was going to collide with?
¿Qué parte del carro suyo usted tenía miedo de que fuera a chocar con el carro de él?
The driver's side, and I also had my daughter in the car.
Del lado del chofer. Y yo también tenía a mi hija ahí en el carro.
Did Mr. Hart make any statements or?
¿Y el señor Hart dijo algo?
No.
No.
Not that I'm aware.
No que yo sepa.
So going back in your petition on August 26 in your timeline around 2:30,
Regresando a la solicitud suya del día 26 de agosto y el periodo de tiempo que usted está escribiendo aquí, aproximadamente las 2:30.
And I'm not certain from your timeline, which of you were there to personally experience this.
No estoy seguro, de acuerdo a esta hora que usted nos está dando, quién de ustedes dos estaba ahí para percibir esto.
But whoever it is, if I could hear about this August 26th event.
Pero quien quiera que haya sido, que estaba presente, si me puede explicar acerca de este evento del día 26 de agosto.
We were both outside, Your Honor, when our daughter was playing.
Los dos estábamos fuera, señoría, cuando nuestra hija estaba jugando.
And after our daughter saw that Jordan and his family came home,
Y después de que mi hija vio que Jordan y la familia de él llegaron a la casa,
Mia, our 8-year-old,
mi niña de 8 años
saw that Jordan was outside and didn't feel safe being out there anymore.
vio que Jordan estaba fuera y ella no se sintió en seguridad ya más.
And she told her little sister that it was time for lunch and that they needed to go inside. And so she came inside.
Ella le dijo a la hermanita pequeña que era hora de almorzar y se vinieron para adentro.
So you assert that Mr. Hart said to someone,
Usted está aseverando de que el señor Hart le dijo a alguien
quote, we can settle this however you like.
de que le había dicho a alguien, podemos resolver esto como quieras.
Can you tell me about that?
¿Me puede explicar de eso, dar detalles?
Yo estaba sentado en mi silla en el front porch hablando
I
con
was sitting on my chair in the front porch.
estaba en el teléfono hablando con mi madre.
I was on the telephone talking to my mother.
Mis hijas estaban jugando. Le dije que estaba hablando por teléfono. Déjame terminar la llamada y hablo contigo.
The interpreter missed that. Repita eso, señor, porque no lo oí. Él vino al porche delantero de la casa, Jordan, ¿y qué pasó?
Yo le dije que estaba hablando por teléfono, que solo
I think there's actually bad weather in Orlando, possibly. The internet does keep cutting.
necesitaba terminar mi llamada para poder hablar con él.
I told him that I was talking on the telephone and I needed to finish my phone call in order for me to talk to him.
Y lo primero que él me dijo que vamos a arreglar esto como yo quisiera, de la manera que yo quisiera.
And the first thing he said to me is that we were going to settle this any which way I wanted.
However you want. That's what he say in English.
In original in English, however you want.
Thank you. What did that mean to you?
¿Y para usted qué quiso decir eso? ¿Qué significaba eso?
Que él estaba buscando pelear conmigo o buscando pelear.
That he was picking up, that he was picking a fight with me. He wanted to fight.
And how did that make you feel?
¿Y cómo hizo que usted se sintiera eso?
Pues al principio yo, pues me molesté porque me habló así.
Originally,
Oh, don't worry about swearing, Eric. We've long since passed that. I don't give a fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. I say it all the time. Also, there's no mods. Well, Jonathan might still be here, but there really aren't.
I got upset because he was talking to me like that.
Y después mi reacción fue de, pues estaban mis niñas jugando ahí, no quise escalar la situación.
And after that,
Please keep in mind, if anybody wants to fight, there is a designated fight corner on the Discord where you can go fight, but you can't cry after.
well, my daughters were playing there and I didn't want to escalate the situation.
Y después, pues seguimos conversando acerca de la situación, de lo que había pasado.
After that, we went on talking about the situation, what had happened.
Yo le había dicho que por qué yo no dejo jugar a mi hija con su hija.
I told him why I was not allowing my daughter to play with his daughter.
Y él me empezó a decir que mi hija se había ido de ahí porque mi hija me tenía miedo a mí
And he started saying that my daughter had left because my daughter was afraid of me.
Cuando yo no sabía de la situación, mi esposa me había dicho que lo que Jordan estaba haciendo a mi esposa y a mis hijas.
I wasn't aware of the situation, but my wife told me about what Jordan was doing to my wife and my daughter. The interpreter missed the last line. ¿Qué fue lo último que dijo?
Bye, Lisa.
Mi hija fue por la situación por la que mi hija se fue de ahí, fue porque mi hija le tenía miedo a Jordan, no porque su Cata había llegado ahí.
The reason why my daughter stopped going there is because my daughter was afraid of Jordan. That was the situation.
Let me ask you, you said after Mr. Hart made this statement, you continued to talk with him?
Usted dijo que después de que el señor Hart le dijo eso a usted, ¿usted siguió hablando con él?
Sí.
Yes.
What, how did this end?
¿Y cómo terminó todo esto?
Seguimos.
How does it ever end, Judge?
Hablando de que yo le dije a él que él puede raise her kids however he wants, perdón, y yo lo voy a hacer de mi manera, que no se preocupara. Y él me dijo que yo estaba mal, como yo estaba creciendo a mis hijas.
Sorry. I told him that I was going to raise my children in which way I wanted to raise my children, and for him not to be concerned about that. And he was telling me that it was wrong the way I was raising my daughters.
Did you tell him to leave your property, or how is it that he finally left your front porch?
¿Usted le dijo a él que se fuera de la propiedad de usted, o cómo fue finalmente que él se fue de ahí, del porche delantero de su casa?
Él solo se fue, yo no le dije que se fuera, él solo se fue.
He just left. He left on his own. I didn't tell him to go.
And then on September 24th, in this timeline of yours, there was an episode of spitting or nose blowing snot onto your property. Can you explain to me what that's about?
Y usted, la fecha del día 24 de septiembre, hay aquí información de que él estuviera escupiendo ahí en la propiedad suya o que se estaba.
Oh, no, 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 no. No, do not do that.
Soplando en la nariz y tirando moco ahí en la propiedad suya. Explíqueme de qué trata eso.
Como le repito, yo no sabía que él estaba haciendo este tipo de gestos obscenos a mi familia.
I repeat, I didn't know that he was doing this kind of obscene gestures towards my family.
Pero ya para este tiempo, después de ese tiempo, yo ya sabía que lo que él estaba haciendo.
But
cuando pasó esto, el 24.
When this happened, then I knew what he was doing.
Entonces yo estaba en el garage arreglando el carro de mi amigo, con mi amigo.
I was in the garage fixing the car of my friend.
Yo estaba en el suelo con mis rodillas, y estaba mirando para la calle.
I was on the ground on my knees, looking towards the street.
Cuando él iba pasando por la sidewalk.
He was walking on the sidewalk.
Cuando él me vio, escupió como para mi propiedad, como para donde estaba yo, y se sacó los mocos así, con un coraje muy fuerte.
When he saw me, he spit towards me into my property, and he blew his nose and with a lot of anger.
Y yo me enojé, me paré.
And I got up and I got angry.
y lo confronté y le dije que necesitaba parar de estar haciendo eso, de estar escupiendo.
And I confronted him and I told him that he needed to stop doing that.
Y le dije también que necesitaba parar a hacerlo eso a mi esposa y a mis hijas.
And I told him that he needed to stop doing that to my wife and my daughters.
Y él, pues, estuvimos cara a cara y mi amigo, no sabía qué estaba pasando.
And we went face to face, and my friend, he didn't know what was going on.
Cuando mi amigo pensó que era serio, algo serio.
My friend thought that this was something serious.
Y trató como de separar la
and he tried like to
relación.
Pull us apart.
Él continuó su camino, volvió a pasar una vez, volvió a pasar otra vez y volvió a estar agresivo. Yo creo que quería más problemas.
And he went on his way, but interpreting this clarification, él volvió a pasar de vuelta, siguió pasando una y otra vez.
Sí, volvió a pasar para atrás porque él tenía que bajar para su casa.
And then he went back again because he had to go towards his house, and he continued being aggressive.
Y ya después de ahí ya no lo vimos, ya no.
And after that, we didn't see him again.
What does continue being aggressive mean? What did he do?
¿Qué es lo que quiere decir usted que siguió siendo agresivo? ¿Qué es lo que quiere decir usted con eso? ¿Qué fue lo que él hizo?
Estábamos en el garage y nosotros lo estábamos viendo, yo y mi amigo, para ver qué iba a hacer. No sé, eso es la reacción que iba a hacer.
We were in the garage, and my friend and I were looking out to see what he was going to do, what his reaction was going to be.
Y volvió a hacer como, ¿qué están viendo?
And he went again like this, like doing the body language of what?
¿Qué estás viendo?
Oh, like what? What are you looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Where was Mr. Hart when he was doing this?
¿Dónde estaba el señor Hart cuando él estaba haciendo esto?
Él venía en lo que viene siendo la carretera, pero volvió a subir como a la sidewalk frente de mi casa.
He was coming down the road, but he climbed onto the sidewalk in front of my house.
And when you were face to face, where did that happen?
Y cuando ustedes estaban ahí cara a cara, ¿dónde pasó esto?
En mi propiedad, bueno, en el sidewalk de mi casa, en mi driveway.
In my property, well, the sidewalk of my house, there on my property.
So Mr. Hart did not come into your driveway?
O sea que el señor Hart no entró al driveway de usted?
No entró a mi driveway.
No, he didn't enter the driveway.
Well, I'd like to turn to Mr. Hart here soon. Is there anything more from the Haydas?
Yo quiero ahora pasar dentro de poco a hablar, a darle la palabra al señor Hart. Los Ojedas tienen algo más que decir.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
No, su señoría, gracias.
And Mr. Hart, I'd like to turn to you about these allegations.
Señor Hart, quiero hablar con usted ahora acerca de esas alegaciones. Sí, su señoría.
And I'll have to remind you that after you say something, pause.
Tengo que recordarle después que diga algo, haga una pausa.
And try not to say too much.
Yes, Your Honor.
De no hablar por mucho rato. Sí, señoría.
Go ahead, Mr. Hart, your response to these allegations.
Prosiga, señor Hart, ¿cuáles son sus respuestas a estas alegaciones?
So my wife and I had no idea that they were feeling this way toward us until
Mi mujer y yo no teníamos ninguna... Stop. Mi mujer y yo no teníamos idea que ellos se sentían de esta manera.
Until the situation where the husband, Jose, came out of his garage to the sidewalk.
Entonces la situación donde José, el marido, vino a la acera.
I had blown my nose on their lawn.
Yo me había soplado la nariz en el césped de ellos.
Ew. Why? Why? What?
Was with my 4-year-old son in his stroller.
Yo estaba con
Which tells me there's probably wipes around in the bottom of the stroller. Pull out a fucking baby wipe.
mi niño de 4 años con el stroller de él.
And then he came down and began screaming at us, chest to chest, face to face. I thought I was going to be assaulted.
Y él vino hasta donde estaba yo y se puso ahí casi chocando pecho con pecho, me estaba gritando y yo pensé que iba a ser agredido.
That was the first moment where we realized there was a situation that was potentially dangerous for our family.
Ahí fue la primera vez que yo me di cuenta que había una situación que podría ser potencialmente peligrosa para mi familia.
So we considered, going to the police, but we did not.
Nosotros consideramos la idea de ir ante la policía, pero no lo hicimos.
I have had in the last year and a half only 3 conversations with this family.
En el último año y medio solamente he tenido 3 conversaciones con esta familia.
We are extremely happy to have a no contact something. My 4-year-old is very afraid of the husband.
Con mucho gusto tendríamos que tener una orden de que no haya contacto de algún tipo. Mi criatura de 4 años tiene mucho miedo del marido.
But we would like to know because the family Ojeda lives at the entrance of our neighborhood.
Pero como la familia Ojeda vive a la entrada de nuestro vecindario,
we continually pass them, via car, via sidewalk.
Normalmente le pasamos ahí por delante, ya sea por la acera o en carro.
And so last Wednesday, I take my son on walks.
Entonces el último miércoles, yo llevo continuamente a mi hijo a caminar.
After one of the walks, the police came to our house.
Después de una de esas caminatas, la policía vino a nuestra casa.
And they said we had gotten within 20 feet of their house.
Y nos dijeron que nosotros nos habíamos acercado a esa distancia de 20 pies de la casa de ellos.
And I explained the situation with our neighborhood, that's the only direction to come in and out. And I did not realize we'd got that close.
Y yo le expliqué la situación de que esa es la única entrada y salida y que no me había dado cuenta de que nos habíamos acercado tanto.
And so the police told me that I really needed to show up to this hearing to make sure that whatever is agreed on in order of no contact that works for our neighborhood.
Y la policía me dijo que tenía que venir a esta audiencia para que cualquier cosa que fuera acordada de no tener contacto que sirviera para nuestro vecindario.
And that was their recommendation.
Y esa fue la recomendación de ellos.
So do you understand that, sir, do you understand that this order is against you?
Señor, ¿usted entiende que esta orden es contra usted?
Not an order against the Ojedas.
Esto no es una orden contra los Ojeda.
I do understand that.
Lo entiendo.
Good night, Vicky.
Can you speak?
Also, you guys, every time I see his window, like him move the camera, I think of a pumpkin, like a Halloween pumpkin. Uh-oh, Erica, you're locked up.
To me about some of these other allegations. The August 26th, we can settle this however you like.
¿Me puede explicar usted acerca de esas otras alegaciones, estas del 26 de agosto, de que haya dicho de que podemos arreglar esto como quieras?
Yes, we arrived home.
Sí, llegamos a la casa.
The 2 daughters from the Ojeda family were playing with our neighbors on the neighbor's property.
Las 2 niñas de los Ojeda estaban jugando con nuestro vecino en la propiedad de nuestro vecino.
That's the house that's between both of our houses.
Esa es la casa que queda entre las casas de ellos y la casa nuestra.
The 2 girls ran toward the Ojeda property.
Las 2 niñas corrieron hacia la propiedad de los Ojeda.
My daughter began crying because she felt that the daughter was running away from her.
Mi niña comenzó a llorar porque sintió que las niñas habían salido corriendo, alejándose de ella.
My wife told me to go talk to them.
Mi mujer me dijo que fuera a hablar con ellos.
I had no interest in doing that because I didn't want to get involved with their family. We're concerned about them in general.
Yo no tenía ningún interés en hacer eso porque no quería involucrarme con la familia de ellos en lo absoluto.
My wife insisted, and so I went over.
Mi mujer insistió, entonces yo fui.
Who can relate to that? F in the chat for when your wife makes you go talk to the neighbors and you don't want to. F in the chat for when your wife makes you do things you don't want to do.
And I said, it seems like there's a problem between our families. I would like to resolve it. If we've done something, please let us know.
Yo le dije, parece que ha habido un problema entre nuestra familia, yo quiero resolverlo. Dígame cómo.
We had about a 15-minute conversation.
Tuvimos una conversación como de unos 15 minutos.
I thought it was very pleasant.
Yo pensé que había sido muy agradable.
I thought it was very pleasant, but again, my wife made me go over there, and she also made me say that.
The only thing that was weird
La única cosa que fue rara
is that the wife opened the door and tried to come onto the porch.
es que la mujer abrió la puerta y trató de salir al porche.
And the husband said, go back inside.
Y el marido dijo, vuelve para adentro.
In an aggressive way that kind of scared me as well.
Go back inside.
En una manera agresiva que me asustó a mí también.
And so I kind of realized that my hope of getting the girls to play together again was not going to happen.
Y yo me di cuenta de que la esperanza que tenía de que las niñas volvieran a jugar juntas no iba a pasar.
So we talked for another 2 to 3 minutes.
Entonces hablamos por unos 2 o 3 minutos más.
And I left.
Y yo me fui.
So what language did you have this conversation in?
¿En qué idioma tuvieron ustedes esta conversación?
It was English.
Fue en inglés.
And you say you've had
Oh, I bet it
maybe
was.
3 conversations with Mr. Ojeda Vargas in the last year and a half?
Y te digo que quizás ha tenido pardon me, sir, que quizás ha tenido 3 conversaciones con el señor Ojeda Vargas en el último año y medio. Could you please repeat your answer?
That's inaccurate.
No, eso no es correcto.
I've had 3 conversations with the family combined.
Yo he tenido 3 conversaciones con la familia combinada.
I had 1 conversation with Tabitha, the wife.
One conversation with whom, you said?
I think her name is Tabitha.
Yo tuve una conversación con Tabitha. I think creo que el nombre de ella es Tabitha.
And then 1 conversation on the porch with Jose.
Y luego una conversación en el porche con José.
And then the conversation where my son and I were being screamed at.
Y luego la conversación donde mi hijo y yo nos estaba gritando a mi hijo y a mí.
And then you had a 15-minute conversation with Mr. Ojeda Vargas.
Y luego usted tuvo una conversación de 15 minutos con el señor Ojeda Vargas.
Yes, Your Honor. That was in August on the front porch.
Eso, sí, señoría. Eso fue en agosto ahí en el porche delantero.
How did you resolve that conversation?
¿Cómo resolvió usted esta conversación?
You're referring to the August conversation on the porch.
Usted está hablando de la conversación en agosto ahí en el porche.
Yes, August 26th, it seems that there's an allegation you said something.
Sí, el 27 de agosto parece que hay una alegación aquí de que usted dijo algo así
You
como
said today you were concerned there seems like a problem with our families, is what you said.
Usted dijo el día de hoy aquí ahora de que parece que hay un problema con nuestra familia. Parece que fue lo que usted dijo, ¿no?
So how did this conversation resolve?
¿Cómo se resolvió esta conversación?
It resolved, Jose, the husband, said that his daughters were not allowed to play with ours. I said, okay. I mean, I'm not, you know.
El marido dijo que las niñas de él no tenían permiso de jugar con mis niñas y dije, está bien.
And I left. The resolution was
y yo me fui.
That was the resolution, Your Honor.
La resolución fue, bueno, esa fue la resolución.
And
Eso
these
fue el final.
allegations of your driving, can you speak to any of that?
Y esas alegaciones que se han hecho acerca de la manera como ha estado conduciendo usted, ¿usted puede explicar algo de eso?
I can't. I do not recall. I always
puedo.
have my son in the car with me. There's no point where I'm going to risk that for.
No recuerdo, yo siempre tengo a mi hijo conmigo y nunca voy a arriesgar eso.
I do not recall these allegations, nor do I recall ever driving in a dangerous way. I will say that it is a when school buses are involved, it is a bit of a dangerous road sometimes.
No recuerdo, no recuerdo haber tenido este comportamiento peligroso. Yo sí quiero decir que cuando están involucradas autobuses escolares es una situación un poquito peligrosa.
And the allegations that you're spitting on their property, can you tell us about those allegations?
Y las alegaciones de que usted estaba escupiendo en la propiedad de ellos, ¿usted puede explicarnos de eso?
Those are accurate allegations. I've done that about a dozen times.
Sí, eso es correcto. Yo lo he hecho como una docena de veces.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Our adopted son is black, and there was a statement that was made about a year and a half ago toward him, and so
What is he talking about? That's not what I was thinking he was going to say. I was definitely eating. What the fuck? 154.29. Okay, remember that. 154.29. I'm going to try and go back. Not too far. Okay.
How did you resolve that conversation?
¿Cómo resolvió usted esta conversación?
You're referring to the August conversation on the porch.
Usted está hablando de la conversación en agosto ahí en el porche.
Yes, August 26th, it seems that there's an allegation you said something.
Sí, el 27 de agosto parece que hay una alegación aquí de que usted dijo algo así
You
como
said today you were concerned there seems like a problem with our families, is what you said.
Usted dijo el día de hoy aquí ahora de que parece que hay un problema con nuestra familia. Parece que fue lo que usted dijo, ¿no?
So how did this conversation resolve?
¿Cómo se resolvió esta conversación?
It resolved. Jose, the husband, said that his daughters were not allowed to play with ours. I said, okay. I mean, I'm not, you know.
El marido dijo que las niñas de él no tenían permiso de jugar con mis niñas y dije, está bien.
And I left. The resolution was that.
Y yo me fui.
That was the resolution, Your Honor.
La resolución fue, bueno, esa fue la resolución.
What did you make, Erica? Shrimp scampi? Is that what you said? That is a humble brag. Oh my God. That's not what I'd like to eat that though.
And these allegations of your driving, can you speak to any of that?
Y esas alegaciones que se han hecho acerca de la manera como ha estado conduciendo usted, ¿usted puede explicar algo de eso?
I can't. I do not recall. I always
puedo.
have my son in the car with me. There's no point where I'm going to risk that for.
No recuerdo, yo siempre tengo a mi hijo conmigo y nunca voy a arriesgar eso.
I do not recall these allegations, nor do I recall ever driving in a dangerous way. I will say that it is a when school buses are involved, it is a bit of a dangerous road sometimes.
No recuerdo, no recuerdo haber tenido este comportamiento peligroso. Yo sí quiero decir que cuando están involucradas autobuses escolares es una situación un poquito peligrosa.
And the allegations that you're spitting on their property.
So this is where I wanted to get to. You once had to head 200 pounds of shrimp. What does head shrimp mean? Does that mean take the heads off? Sound pretty stupid now, but that's what it means. Oh, RLS. People think Streamlabs is a real person too. So, just as we're talking about food, this guy's going to talk about why he spit on his neighbor's property because somehow, because of the race of one of his children. This is fucked up. A weird ass case. Remove the heads, not give head to shrimp.
Can you tell us about those
Y
allegations?
las alegaciones de que usted estaba escupiendo en la propiedad de ellos, ¿usted puede explicarnos de eso?
Those are accurate allegations. I've done that about a dozen times.
Sí, eso es correcto. Yo lo he hecho como una docena de veces.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Our adopted son is black, and there was a statement that was made about a year and a half ago toward him. And so that was my reaction.
Nuestro hijo adoptivo es negro y hubo unas declaraciones que hicieron con respecto a él y eso fue. So there were some statements that were done about him, and then what did you say, sir? I missed that.
So I've been spitting on their property because of my anger about a statement that was made.
Y yo he estado escupiendo la propiedad de ellos debido a algo que ellos dijeron.
And that was a year and a half ago that you believe the Jose or the Ojeda family made a statement about your son?
Y eso fue como hace como año y medio que la familia Ojeda, ¿usted piensa que dijo algo acerca de su hijo? Sí.
Sí. Yeah. Yes.
Sí.
So these allegations by the Ojeda family that you're doing this is true.
Entonces, estas alegaciones de la familia Ojeda de que usted ha estado haciendo esto es verdad.
Yes.
Sí.
Why do you do that?
¿Por qué hizo eso?
That's the reason. It's not good.
Does it help with the problem that you're having between the families?
¿Eso ayuda con el problema que usted está teniendo con la familia?
Honor.
No, claramente no, su señoría.
All right. Do you have anything else that Mr. Hart that you'd like me to know?
¿Algo más, señor Hart, que usted quiere hacerme saber?
Yes, Your Honor. Our neighborhood, the only way to come in and out of our neighborhood is on one road. The sidewalk that my family and I like to take evening walks on, the only way to go on that side of the road up out of our neighborhood goes right past their house. And
Pare, stop. Sí, su señoría, nuestro vecindario, la manera que está, la única manera de entrar, de salir es a través de esa carretera. Y nuestra familia camina y... Are you saying the only way to walk in the sidewalk is by that sidewalk? Is that what you said, sir?
That's what I'm saying.
I think actually, if we hit the replay, which I'm not going to do because I can't fucking do it, we'll find that he said, this is our chosen sidewalk route for our evening walks. He spits on the racist couple's yard. Oh my God.
La única manera de caminar por la acera es caminar en esa acera.
And
Yes.
we've been unable to take our usual walks, which is, I mean, it's part of the process. But this last week, since the police told us where the 20-foot mark was, we've been almost imprisoned in our home.
Y desde que la policía nos dijo eso de la marca de los 20 pies, casi que hemos estado prisioneros en nuestra casa, porque no podemos tomar esas caminatas.
And I would like that to be taken into account by the
Yo quiero
court.
que eso sea considerado por el tribunal.
That our family bears no ill will toward, their family.
Sir, you just literally 2 breaths ago admitted to spitting on their property in anger because of a comment they made a year and a half prior. I'm sorry that you can't fucking have it both ways. No ill will.
But we also don't want to be imprisoned in our neighborhood, essentially.
Nuestra familia no le tiene mala voluntad a la familia de ellos, pero no queremos estar aquí atrapados como en prisión.
Anything else?
¿Algo más?
At this time, no, Your Honor.
A este punto no, señoría.
I'm sorry.
Kind of the packet.
It's a good question, Mikey. I don't know.
Oh, that's right. There's two of them. Okay.
I do know when I was an assistant, I
I'm
used to
just
like
gonna
to
review some information here. Just give me a moment.
Dame un segundo, voy a revisar aquí alguna información.
take your time, Judge. I'm gonna speak. So when I was an assistant, I used to like go like using all the boss's stuff, because you're the assistant, so you're allowed to do that. And if anybody wants a meeting, they need to talk to you. Like even the boss, if the boss wants a meeting, he has to talk to me about his own calendar because it's not his calendar, it's my calendar that I run and he attends all the meetings. But that's why you always have to make friends with the clerks and the assistants and the administrative people.
So I'm gonna rule, and I don't expect to be interrupted.
Voy a dar mi decisión y espero no ser interrumpida.
The court is not issuing an order,
Este tribunal no está dando una orden
and the reason why
y la razón por la que estoy dictaminando así
is the way the law is written as to what unlawful harassment is.
es la manera como está escrita la ley, lo que está determinado como es acoso ilegal.
What we've heard from the Ojeda family, I believe.
Yo creo lo que la familia Ojeda me ha dicho.
I believe Mr. Hart.
Yo creo, señor Hart.
And there are problems that are not helped by spitting on someone's property.
Y hay problemas que no se mejoran con estar escupiendo en la propiedad de otra persona.
The incident where the two men ended up face to face
El incidente donde los otros dos hombres quedaron ahí cara a cara
sounds like is almost shared aggravation on both sides.
parece que es como que las dos partes están sintiendo el agravio, es un agravio compartido.
And Mr. Ojeda Vargas may have provoked into that, given a series of events that occurred.
Ay, quizás el señor Ojeda Vargas se sintió provocado de eso, pero debido a la serie de eventos que habían tenido lugar.
Unfortunately, he did not escalate that.
Fortunately, is that what your honor said?
Fortunate.
Y afortunadamente él no escaló eso.
But unlawful harassment as it's defined under the law
Pero según la definición de la ley de acoso ilegal,
requires that a reasonable person have substantial emotional distress.
requiere que una persona razonable se sienta alterado de manera emocional.
And when the Supreme Court reviewed this law,
Y cuando el Tribunal Superior revisó esta ley,
it made it clear to judges down here in the trial courts
el Tribunal Supremo, quiero decir, aquí dejó en claro que los jueces que estamos aquí a este nivel donde se hacen los juicios,
that
los exámenes,
these orders are not to be issued
que estas órdenes no han de ser promulgadas
to penalize obnoxious, overbearing, or rude people.
para penalizar a personas que tienen comportamiento grosero, obnoxious, pedante, obnoxious,
Rude and overbearing.
y personas que, o sea, que son un poquito así como insoportables.
And frankly, this behavior from Mr. Hart falls in that camp.
Y francamente, este comportamiento de parte del señor Hart cae en este grupo de clasificaciones.
And we are very careful when we issue these orders because someone can go to jail if they violate it.
Y tenemos mucho cuidado cuando promulgamos estas órdenes porque una persona puede terminar yendo a la cárcel por violación de la orden.
So this has been quite instructive, though.
Esto ha sido muy instructivo.
Mr. Hart, it's clear that the Ojedas don't want to have any contact with you and your family.
Señor Hart, queda bien claro que la familia Ojeda no quiere tener ningún tipo de contacto ni con usted ni con la familia de usted.
Mr. Hart, as you've agreed,
Señor,
stop spitting and otherwise on their property.
señor Hart, como está dando su acuerdo, deje de escupir o de hacer otras cosas en la propiedad de ellos.
Doesn't move anything forward.
Say that again, Your Honor. The interpreter is
It does not make anything better.
Okay, y este tipo de acción no mejora nada las cosas.
And I'm not making an order to the effect of which sidewalk you use,
No estoy dando una orden determinando qué acera debe usar usted,
but maybe you find a different way around their home.
pero quizás usted puede encontrar otra manera para pasar el área de la casa de ellos.
So there will not be an order going forward, but they say it's probably best to leave each other alone.
No va a haber una orden de hoy en adelante, pero quizás es mejor que se dejen tranquilos mutuamente.
Denied. Streamlabs, he actually is hitting his 2.5 hour break, and that's what happened. He just sometimes leaves, which is annoying since I pay him money. He fucking owes me money right now. And H&W, you're right. See, we learn never spit. Swallowing is much more civil, and we know that good girls swallow. Great girls gargle. And bad girls spit. So, anyways, you guys, it's been a wonderful evening. I've had a great time. I hope you have too. Mikey, don't forget to see me after class about your prize for guessing the price of the dress if you're still around. And guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. And dirty guys make you share. That's true, Courtney. You are here. Perfect. See me after class. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please remember that I love you. I am proud of you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you guys. Thanks for being here.